what resonates with people is the words I use. I use the word fat. I say don't be fat. I say it all the time, you know, motion is the lotion, right? And motion is like it's like an RX for just about anything. It's a prescription for so many things. You're sad, go for a walk. You're mad, go for a walk. You can't figure things out. You know, see if you can, see if you can go for a run, or see if you could do a workout, or like a lot of times, some sort of movement of some kind, even just getting in your car, which is not a whole lot of movement, but just like walking to your car and then driving will help you sort out some stuff, because now you are kind of in motion. You're doing something. I think your brain recognizes that you're in motion because you're driving a vehicle. So, but there's a lot of people that don't experience that. There's so many people, like, I don't even have any idea. I don't have any numbers or stats like back this up, but there's hundreds of thousands of people that don't ever get their heart rate above like 100 or 110. And they do that day in and day out for months on end. Years on end. Weeks on end. Yeah. Months, right? Years.
A lifetime.
Decades. When's the last time, when's the last time somebody got themselves, really, really out of breath for multiple like moments, like for like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, and they were sweating profusely. Now, somebody could do that from just going up the stairs if they're not conditioned well. But how many times have you sought that out to do? How many times did you go up those stairs and then look back down and go, I'm going to walk those again? Fuck that. Like, that doesn't make any sense that I'm out of breath. I'm going to rest here for a second because it's probably not safe for me to do it again right away. And I'm going to give it another shot. What you experience when you get your heart rate to those levels, the human body is designed for this. We know this. And this is part of our history. This is part of our evolution. We know this this is a fact. We know that we're built for fight and for flight. Like we know it. We're built to like hunt. We're built to like make weapons. We're built to kill shit. We're built to look, even a fucking lion, can't dismantle an animal the way that we can. Like we're fucking savages. Like what a human being is capable of doing is it's like it appears to be unlimited in a lot of ways, right? I guess you can't like float or fly yet, but we figured it out with a fucking airplane, right? Like we can, or a jetpack, we can figure out. Human beings are amazing. We can figure out anything, but we are clearly designed to rev this engine. We're clearly designed to get these RPMs up, and people just aren't doing it. And so people that aren't doing, they're not participating in that. It makes sense that the brain starts to rust. It makes sense that the body starts to rust. And that's why earlier I was talking about people being broken. I think they are broken because they just they haven't been through those experiences. And people that are on the other side that haven't revved their heart up, haven't done any of those things in a long time, they can't understand our side of it the same way that we can't understand their side of it cleanly because we haven't experienced it. I do not know what it's like to grow up the way that you guys grew up. I don't, you can tell me about it, but what's that experience like? Am I going to be able to write about it? Like, am I going to be able to be, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't make any sense, right? Like I have had to walk through it. Now I've been heavy before. I was 330 pounds, but I was a power lifter, and that was for a brief period of time. So I don't know what it's like to grow up being the fat kid. I don't know what it's like to walk into a grocery store and have somebody laugh at you. I don't know, or a little kid point at you, because little kids, they don't, they'll be like, he's fat, they'll just,
they're brutal.
I've seen that before.
I know you're enjoying this clip, but listen up. We have this beef company, Piedmontese Beef, that no matter what diet you're doing, whether it's low fat, high fat, carnivore, keto, whatever, they have perfect cuts that are going to fit your diet perfectly. And the cool thing, Andrew, less connective tissue, so you're not going to have those gristly, nasty things that you have to spit out when you eat beef.
That's what those are?
That's what those are.
Oh, and Piedmontese doesn't have that.
They don't have that because the cows are jacked, lack of connective tissue, buttery when you cut into it. Amazing taste. So, Andrew, how can they get some Piedmontese?
Yes, sir. It's over at Piedmontese.com. That's Piedmontese.com. At checkout, enter promo code POWER for 25% off your order. And if your order is $150 or more, you get free 2-day shipping. Again, that's at Piedmontese.com, promo code POWER. Let's go ahead and get back to this podcast.
But I've never had that. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to like cry myself to sleep over some other kid making fun of me because I'm fat or something. So I don't want to pretend that I know what it's like to be on that side, but these are things that I've gathered over the years from having obese people in my family, and then also helping thousands upon thousands of people lose 50 pounds, 80 pounds, 100 pounds. I mean, I've helped so many people lose weight. And I think what resonates with people is the words I use. I use the word fat. I say, don't be fat. And I'm not saying don't be fat as in like, I think that you have, it's not to make fun of anybody. Fat is an accumulation, right? Fat is, it's an abundance. Like the Bible says to like live off the fat of the land. The fat of the land is like abundance. Like, use what's there for you to fucking eat, basically. And when I say don't be fat, I just mean don't overdo shit. And also don't underdo stuff. The side where you need to like move, you do need to move. The side where you need to figure out your nutrition, like you do have to figure that out.
Yeah. And in regards to what you're saying about like the last time that they got their heart rate up on multiple occasions, it happened most likely back like in PE and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we're going back to school and kids are dickheads. So these are big people.
Bad experience.
The last time they had to do this, they were belittled. They were made fun of. They were ridiculed. So the first chance that they got to move away from that, they're just like, fuck that. I'm not going to deal with that shit ever again. Go to a gym where these guys thrive? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. So now here we are like, oh, you just need to move a little bit more. And then we're like, dude, like, we're not being fat phobic, but that's how it's being received, right? Because you're just like, you want me to go do the things that I got made fun of? Like, no, I'm not gonna.
And it's particularly nefarious if you've been a child that's been big your whole life, because you don't know what anything else feels like. You don't know what it's like to just walk a good distance and not go out of breath. You don't know what it's like to, one aspect of this is like when you hear certain people talk who are obese, they have to have certain, their breathing is labored. Like you feel labored when you talk a lot, right? You don't know maybe what it's like to feel another way. Your knees feel a certain way. You think a certain amount of pain is normal. So since that pain is normal, you don't even, it's not pain. It's just how things are. So if you don't know what a better feeling is like, then what you are and the way you feel, it's okay. It's normal.
It's tough when somebody's really big. They have to think about everything. They have to think about, if they're going to, let's just say they want to go to a seminar. They might not be able to go to a seminar because they don't know what the chairs are like. And then maybe they don't want to ask. I'm sure, especially in like today's climate, like people would be accommodating to say, "Hey, man, I'm very, very heavy. I'm willing to pay for this seminar. I want to come to it. Do you think you can accommodate, or could I bring my own chair?" Somebody will, right? But like we think those things are funny. We see those things, and those things are different, and so we're human, and we don't know how to fucking deal with it. A guy walks by, and a guy in a wheelchair goes by and he's got, he's missing both legs. Look, you look at them like when you recognize that somebody has something different, whether it's someone that's 7 feet tall or someone that is 4 feet tall, you do a little double take. You recognize these things. And so I think it's really hard when you're a heavier person, just to, yes, we understand all these hurdles, but here's the thing that I think is the most important factor. You can't just plant your flag in the ground and say, this is me and I'm just going to revolve around this fucking flag that I planted here. And I'm just going to live under these conditions all the time because some kid made fun of me because my boobs jiggled when I ran when I was in 5th grade. You're just going to stay this. You're going to die at 40 because some kid made fun. That's not reasonable. That doesn't make any fucking sense. We've all been made fun of. We've all been ripped apart. Again, I don't know what it's like to be that heavy, and I don't know what it's like to be the brunt of a lot of jokes that way, and I'm not pretending to, but it still doesn't make any sense to go on living your life the same exact way, making your conditions, you're making your conditions worse because of what some motherfucker said to you or somebody ripped you apart. It just does, it's not reasonable. Like It's your life. You're going to die young. You're not going to be able to watch your kids graduate high school or get married because of that. Like, that's not good enough, man. I think you need to figure out a way to take a step. And I think the fucking awesome part about the internet, while people might bash and might say, hey man, that's cool, you're doing those exercises, but you're still fat, or whatever the bullshit is that people are throwing at you, there's a lot of people that are willing to help. I know Cole Robinson, he throws around the word fat a lot. He says a lot of crazy stuff. That motherfucking guy helps people for free. People DM him. He has small requirement of you. He wants you to just track what you did so he can get a little publicity out of assisting you. That's all he asks. But I think that's pretty cool. I help a lot of people in my DMs. My gym here is free. Super Training Gym, 855 Riverside Parkway, West Sacramento, California. We're open every weekend from 10 to 1 if you want to come check it out.
Come train.
Come train. You know, we're assisting a bunch of people that are bigger, and they're moving around, and they're starting to make some progress. And, you know, so, I mean, it's not an easy thing to figure out, but I do think the only ways to figure these things out is kind of like, unfortunately, it's like a one person at a time type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too, so you can get whatever you like from us. All right. Peace.